So here in the Canon, and all Canons look more or less the same, it's called the language of their buttons. You want to make sure that you switch your camera on, and then you can see on your dial here it's on manual, but you can put it on aperture priority or shutter speed, or even on program, which is like the automatic. So I would suggest to start out with automatic, because then you get to know the camera, what can it do, how does it feel, play with it. Don't try to do all the buttons at once, because you get really confused. It is all about making photos in the first place. And when you feel confident, you go to, for example, shutter speed, and you play with shutter speed. You play with different kind of openings and shutter speeds, like fast opening or very slow opening. And you can change these by using the dial, which is in this case here, and you can play with the different shutter speeds. And it's the same for the f-stops, which is like, what do you want to focus on? Is it one little thing? Is it one eye that you want to focus on, or do you want to have like the whole interior building? And again, you can adjust that. And these are I would suggest these are the things that you should start playing with, so you get accustomed to all these settings, and from there you take it to another level. There are a couple of other buttons here, like there's a button, if you push it you go straight to ISO, and ISO means like how sensitive is my film, because it comes from film. How sensitive is my camera in this case, and you can change it too. So when it's like dusk or dawn, you need more light in your lens. But when it's a hot day at 12 o'clock, full sun, you want to put the ISO on, for example, like 100 or 200, maybe 400. But in the evening, when the light is really dim, you want to do like, for example, from 800 to 1600, maybe even further. The newer the camera, the more ISO qualities they have. So you can use that button to go back and forth. And then you have also a button, and I'm gonna take this cable away. There we go. You see the back screen, you can see that the f-stop, for example, is 5, and you can go to, you can change the f-stop, you know, by using this ring. It's very simple. So we're now at 4.0, which means if you would make a portrait only from the person's face, I would use something like that. But if you want to do landscape, you go all the way like f25 or 22. So when you make a photo, you have also different options. For example, I'm using now the shutter here. I'm focusing on this lens here right in front of me, and I'm making a photo. Okay, that was it. It's a bit on the dark side, but it doesn't matter. So you have this little button here, and you can check out how the photo was. And then with these two buttons, which is like a plus and a minus, you can zoom in. So I zoom in right here, you see? So it was a sharp photo, you can see it. And you can zoom out again. And I'm gonna make another picture here, for example. There we go. It's a bit lighter. I adjusted the f-stop, and I'm gonna look at the picture again. Here we go. And I push the plus and minus if I want, and you see it's sharp. So this way you can check what you did, and you can see if you have to do it again or not, if you're satisfied. So with all these buttons that you have, you can check your work instantly. Now there's also a menu button, but I would suggest not going in there. If you rent a camera from the Blue Mountains library, the settings will be standard. But I would suggest don't go into the menu. It's confusing. First, try to see if you can go like on program mode. On program mode, the camera does everything. You just take the photo, and even focusing the camera can do it. Unless you gotta put it in front of your subject. But it's kind of all automatic. It's kind of way it's interesting. But real photography starts right here.